Hello, hello. It has been quite some time since we heard news about Aion 2, and today we gained a few confirmations. But first, let us talk about everything we do know this far. I would say we start with the system itself and later go into what we know about the gameplay. When Aion was announced in 2018, everyone was hyped. Until they saw that it was announced as a mobile game. They changed that now, with Aion 2 being a PC first game with some mobile interaction or mobile gameplay. We do not know what exactly they mean or plan with that, but PC first sounds at least much better now. The news are getting even better though. Aion 2 will be a global release, meaning everyone gets to play at the same time. No longer is Korea a year ahead until we in Europe, for example, get that content. And we do not stop there. Aion 2 was originally planned with Unreal Engine 4, but now they upgraded it and it will be released with Unreal Engine 5. I personally am no expert about game engines, but I do inform myself about them every now and then, because I find the systems and technologies behind them very interesting. And Unreal Engine 5 is a huge plus, it seems. With the technology they are using, not only upgrading the graphics or the look of the games, but also improving the performance. Meaning you don't necessarily need a €2,000 PC to run the game. Considering that Throne and Liberty used Unreal Engine 4 and its performance was already incredibly good, this is a good sign for the game and for the gamers that do not have a strong and expensive PC. But look at this part which explains it much better than I could.
The first major update for Unreal Engine 5 just released called 5.1, and it is a huge deal. The reason why is one word, and that is foliage. Since Unreal Engine 5 came out, it introduced a revolutionary new way of rendering geometry called Nanite. To briefly sum up Nanite, every object you see in computer graphics is composed of tiny flat planes of geometry called polygons. And the more polygons you have in your environment, the longer it will take to render. This is why video games have developed a system called level of detail, or LOD for short. The further away an object is from the camera, the less polygons it will use to render that object. This makes games run faster since there's less polygons that have to be rendered, but it is very time consuming to create all those LODs. Nanite replaces LODs because it uses dynamic level detail. This means you can have an object with millions of polygons without any LODs because polygons dynamically deform, lowering the amount of polys on an object. A good example of Nanite in use is this desert. If I come up to lit, Nanite, triangles, we can see Nanite in action. Every color is an individual polygon, and there are millions of them, without a single LOD being used. The biggest issue with Nanite is that it did not work with foliage. This means we still have to rely on level of detail for foliage like shrubs, grass, and trees. Trees generally use billboards as the lowest level of detail, which is just a flat plane with a texture that, as you can see, does not look very nice. Here is an example of what a billboard looks like. I have Unreal Engine 5 opened up, and in this environment, all the trees are using level of details, because that was the only option. Now, if I move my camera far away, you can see that the trees change LODs until they are using billboards. And the transition looks pretty bad. Notice how even the shadows disappear because billboards only block light if it's facing it. Now in Unreal Engine 5.1, we finally get Nanite foliage. To enable Nanite on foliage is pretty simple. You want to open up the static mesh, and within here make sure enable Nanite support is turned on, and this is unique for foliage. Select preserve area. That's how if we aren't too far away, the object won't disappear. And then press apply changes. I went ahead and did the exact same process to all the trees in this environment. Now when the camera flies away, there is no LOD transitions or billboards. The trees retain the same quality as if they're being viewed up close. And the shadows do not disappear at long distances. There is no loss in performance. In fact, we gained an extra 5 frames. So it is more performant than LODs. So Nanite not only looks better, it runs better in certain scenarios.
Now let's get a bit more into the gameplay of Aion 2. NC stated that there will be no class-specific infringements on equipment, basically meaning a class system that is chosen depending on the weapon you equip. similar to Throne and Liberty or New World, I guess. It is also focusing much more on the flying aspect of Aion, meaning they want to include flying more into the combat and also making flying available more freely than in the first Aion game where it was very restricted in most regions. For the world itself, they plan a bigger open world where you do not have to travel to another region with a teleporter all the time. We also already know some of the regions that will be in the game. Puerta, Verteron, Eltnan, and the main city, I guess, which is translated as Elysium, but also could be the ancient capital Sela. In the newest statement for investors, they confirm a couple of things. First, 5 new works are expected next year, 2025. There are 3 things we have high expectations for: Aion 2, LLL, and Tactan. Which means we should be getting Aion 2 in 2025, which is not that far away anymore. But there are some more infos here in the Q&A section. The question is simply what path Aion will follow, either focusing on perfection or on new attempts. And the answer is, like Throne and Liberty, Aion 2 is targeting the global market. I would like to clearly state that the game design, combat content, BM, and marketing strategy are significantly different from the games we have previously released. Specific features will be revealed through official marketing activities at Aion 2 Camp next year. For example, we are developing a game where the highest level can be achieved just by exploring a wide variety of content. It's difficult to say simply, but the focus is on enjoying and growing together rather than competing. The amount of PvE content is important to succeed in the global market. In that respect, we are developing the game with a lot of emphasis on PvE content. We believe it will be a game that sets a new standard in terms of content scale and quality, and we will communicate more actively through marketing activities next year. That was a lot. So in short, they are doubling down on what they previously said. Aion 2 will focus much more on PvE than PvP. But there are a lot of things that can be taken either positive or negative depending on your expectation. Stating that the game design, the combat content and the marketing strategy is significantly different from any games they have previously released. I mean, this really could go both ways, positive or negative. And the only way to find out is to wait. I personally like the idea and the courage to try new things with the MMO genre. But also I'm a bit nervous that Aion 2 could simply flop very hard. The focus being on enjoying and growing together is good. The second part about not competing with each other is not really sitting well with me when it comes to MMOs, because that's what they are for, right? But it could also be that this simply means that they don't overly focus on PvP like with the first Aion game. Anyway, they still mention a few things here and there about Aion and how 2025 will be a big year for NC, but for us as Aion fans the most important thing is Aion 2 will be a global release in 2025. If I see any new infos about Aion 2 or the Aion Classic patches and updates, I will make sure to inform all of you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I will keep focusing on more lore videos for Aion. So if you're interested, click on the video shown here. Have a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye!